Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic, and welcome back to the channel. And today, for you guys, this is another movie review. Now, look, this is going to be Minions: The Rise of Gru from Illumination, and I just wanted to kind of say that I was not looking forward to this film at all. I really enjoyed Despicable Me 1 and 2. 3, well, yeah. Minions, I really didn't like. I think it was, it was kind of essential for the origin story, of the Minions, but I just felt it was kind of a poorly made film. And then the Minions: The Rise of Gru was announced. I was like, oh god, they're still going? And, Minions, just by default, just looking at the freaking little Twinkie noodle things, it's going to sell like hotcakes. Or like Twinkie noodle things. Because that no matter how the quality is, people are going to see it, no matter your age group, right? They have Lego sets, and they have all this crazy stuff, all this merchandise. And, I'm not a hater, but I didn't really enjoy the first one that much. And, after seeing the trailers for The Rise of Gru, I was like, this doesn't look good at all. Like, the trailers were very manic, just stuff was like, Bob was screaming and Kevin was like getting kicked in the head by some Asian lady, and nothing made sense. It was just random crap on the screen, and I was like, this, I understand, the Minions, they go, it's just random gibberish, or sometimes it's real languages, but, it's just kind of, the trailers seemed very, like I said, manic and insane, and just kind of off the wall. Random. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense. It was like, what's the plot? You got this Asian lady beating the crap out of people. You got Gru, who's like in it for a second, and then he gets kidnapped or something. And then there's like dragons and mythical creatures. And I was like, what is this movie? This looks insane. It looks like something they all took crack, and they were like, they're high, and they're like, we're making a script. It's like, Jesus, this is weird. And thankfully, the movie was effing awesome. This is a big step up from the first Minions. Like I said, I didn't like that movie. It was very much the Minions without much of Gru. But really, Gru's only in the end of that film. The end scene. Some of it was funny. The animation was good, of course, but I just didn't like the fact that they were just, it was like an hour and a half. It's like, Jesus Christ, it's getting old, So this one, I'm glad Gru was in it, but yeah, really, this is a big step up from the first Minions. This is not like a fantastic A+ film. It's not going to win awards or anything like that, but, it's a fun, funny comedy for every age group. Now, there was a little kid. And by little kid, I mean, like, freaking really little kid. And he wouldn't shut up. Because every time I'm online and they go, this is a good kids movie, take your kids. I swear to God, I say it every time. It's not a kids movie. Because the kid that was in the theater wouldn't shut up. He was going, no. Like, it was a really serious, it was a serious scene. And, Gru's talking to the Minions, and Gru's getting kind of angry. And, Bob or Kevin or whoever, Stuart, they're kind of like, doubting themselves as Minions, because one of the arcs is Gru is kind of like, look, you guys are okay, but you're kind of silly and dumb, and I'm like big leagues, you guys aren't meant for the big leagues. And it's a serious moment, and this, kid's going, blah, 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 blah. It's like, Jesus Christ, it was like, like, for God's sake, shut him up. So it didn't ruin the experience, but, you always hate when there's a little kid freaking out. The whole freaking movie, hour and a half of blah, blah, blah. But still, getting past that, it was a good movie. But like I said, there's a lot of moments in this where it does seem kind of manic, like I mentioned in the trailer, but it works. Like, everything in this movie works, like we see, without spoilers, how Dr. Nefaro came into play, and how Gru kind of, tried to break away from the Minions, and how he reconnects with them, and how that kind of leads on to Despicable Me 1. So there's a lot of really cool aspects, which I didn't expect. This is really how you do a Minion origin prequel story correctly. The first one introduced how the Minions came to be, which you need that, but it wasn't that good of a movie. I'd probably give it like a D or a C minus or something. I really didn't enjoy it. This one, you have Gru in it a lot, so it's not just, like that kid in the theater. It was very, very structured in its plot. Yeah, there's kind of like a really cool action scene in the beginning, where it's kind of, describes the villain as 6 or whatever, like this big bad guy group, kind of wants to take over the world, and Gru, of course, aspires to be a villain, and he looks up to one of the main guys, this really old dude, and, through a series of crazy circumstances, they kind of meet and they kind of team up, and you see what happens with, the Minions and how they try to kind of make it up to Gru for kind of disappointing him and, making him, feel like, oh, you guys are just small time, I want the big leagues type thing. And it works, it works. It's very funny. Not every joke lands, but a lot of them do. I think that it's a very, very well animated as well, I should say. I think the very beginning of the film starts with like a crazy, awesome, like heist action scene in like a like a temple or something. And the animation's great all around, but the action scenes in this were really well animated. They're very kinetic. If you've seen Ninjago, the newer seasons, like, you know, Seabound or Master of the Mountain or something like that, there's a lot of, like, one-shot takes or, like, these really cool, like, kinetic scenes where, like, Cole throws a sword and the camera will follow the sword into a skeleton, and then Jay will take that sword and throw it to Nia. Nia catches it and throws it to Kai, and it's not hard to understand. It's very easy to follow, but it has that kind of smooth transition in their fight scenes. And this film has that. It's not like, you know, not Kingsman level action, but it's good for what it was trying to do. You know, I mean, it actually was well shot, well choreographed, well put together. Some of the humor and comedy was kind of put into the action scenes, and they were really fun to watch. Of course, like I said, without getting into too many spoilers, I did think the plot was good. Again, it set up the Minions, you know, and Gru in kind of an origin story level where I felt like this, like I said, this was a prequel story for this franchise and for Gru and for the Minions, for these characters, done right. As far as negatives, like I said, some of the humor didn't land. There were a few, you know, moments where some of the editing was a bit weird, just the way scenes would end. However, there are really good editing moments as well, where there's good scene transitions. Like there's a cannon, like a tank, right? And the freaking, you know, the long thing that goes boom and it shoots the cannon. It kind of like zooms into frame, you know, the circle, and it's dark because it's a tank. And then it like transitions to the next scene at night. So there's a lot of really cool things like that where you're like, oh, that's a cool transition. I like that. You know, it was very well shot and all that. You know, I think a lot of people when they watch an animated movie, they don't really count or they don't really take into effect or consideration how an animated film is shot, right? They just, oh yeah, it's an animated film or, you know, whatever. I mean, whatever. But animation does have directors and they have choreographers and they have people that line up frames and line up shots and they make sure all of it's in camera. You know, it's not like point, click, animate, done. You know, it takes real effort, just like a live action film, except you're doing it on a computer. And, you know, it looks good. You know, there's nothing crazy, you know, bad or, you know, there's nothing really, that spectacular either, but it works. But yeah, I mean, very small negatives, honestly. You know, my main negatives with the first Minions film was that the plot was really weak, the humor didn't really land. Some of it was funny, of course, but, you know, most of it didn't land for me. Of course, you know, humor is subjective, but for me, it didn't land. But I enjoyed it. You know, I mean, this one I really did. I think, like I said, Despicable Me 1 and 2 were very good. And then, you know, you get, like, Secret Life of Pets 1. I didn't like it. Secret Life of Pets 2, I enjoyed it. I don't know if I'd buy it on Blu-ray, but it was fun. Sing, I didn't see it. Sing 2, I really freaking liked. And then, of course, we're getting to, you know, Minions: The Rise of Gru. This is probably on par with Despicable Me 2, maybe. I enjoyed it. You know, I mean, if you are kind of annoyed by the Minions just going, or you're just kind of pissed off seeing them everywhere, you know, except apparently no one talks about them at Universal, but, you know, they're in Target. It is very much a cool film, you know. I don't think it's going to win anyone over, but it works, it's funny, it's action-packed, it's well shot, you know, well animated. It's really cool, you know, like I said, the fight choreography really pairs with the animation. It looks smooth, it looks really, you know, kinetic and fun. And I enjoyed it. You know, it's a bit off the wall. They steal this amulet thing. And of course, you see in the trailer that the villain is 6 turns into like these crazy, like Chinese-inspired animals, like tigers and freaking serpents and all that. There's a reason. You know, they're not just going crazy. Because again, the trailers make it seem like I just took a bunch of LSD and I'm tripping balls, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? You know, this is what was in my cheeseburger. But finally, you know, this film actually makes sense of it. So if you were nervous like me that the trailers were just kind of incomprehensible gibberish, like how they speak, it wasn't. It actually made sense. And, you know, this is not a masterpiece movie, but it was better than the first one, and it's at least on par with Despicable Me 2, and it's, you know, it's a good Illumination film. Because, like I said, these Minion films, you know, they will make money no matter how the quality is, because they're the freaking Minions. You know, you put them in anything, they're going to sell like hotcakes, like I said. But thankfully, this is a good film. Not a fantastic movie, you know, but if you like this franchise and you like good comedies, and hey, if you're a kid, teen, or adult, and you like to laugh and have fun, go watch it. But I did enjoy it. You know, I mean, it's not perfect, but like I said, it is better than the first, and it's really how you do one of these origin stories right, because it sets up scenes in the first. You know, there's specific shots, there's specific callbacks that, you know, if you watch the first 3, or at least the first one, at least Despicable Me 1, you go, wow, that's cool. You know, oh, there's little Easter eggs like that, or little nods, and I enjoyed that for sure. You know, something that the first Minion movie couldn't really offer. This had it. So anyway, I'm going to give Minions: The Rise of Gru an A-. I very much enjoyed it. Again, I'd probably give the first one like a C-. So again, in terms of this caliber of film, this is very much a step up. It just wasn't a big F you to everyone who was like, oh man, more of these, you know, buy our stuff! You know, we made a crap movie! No, it's a pretty good movie, and I think that if they continue to make quality films like this one, and maybe even better than this one, I think I'd be fine seeing the Minions. Like I said, I'm fine with Minions. I know a lot of people, like, you know, with fervor, they effing hate this. God, I hate the Minions, you know, but I don't mind them. If they make quality products, like films, you know, I'm all cool with it. But, yeah, that first one, I don't know. I was kind of ready for it to end after that first one. But they really picked it up and stepped up their game with this one. So anyway, if you have seen Minions, The Rise of Gru, without spoiling it, tell me in the comments down below what you thought about it. And what is your favorite Despicable Me movie? Despicable Me 1, 2, 3, Minions 1 or 2. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.